Robin Beltran with Soul Corridas TV. I had the pleasure of spending the day with the CEO of Soul Corridas and to talk about his new book, The Other 99 Times. Tell us about The Other 99 Times and, where that title came from. It's obviously a catchy title. And what does it mean for you in your day-to-day life?
I just wanted to bring back bring attention to, we always focus so much on the one time things went wrong instead of concentrating and thanking God for the 99 they went right.
What was it about the Cabbage Patch doll that apparently ties into the other 99 times?
Walmart before the dash. That chapter has so many messages in it, but it's not about hating someone else, it's about loving you. But the title of the chapter, Screenshot, it's capture those moments in your mind. And so the days that you feeling low and you need that extra push, reach and get that screenshot.
It had me cracking up. It had me laughing. My grandmother loved that chapter. I had her rolling, just describing everything that could happen. So
I just think it's amazing how that was in 85, 86, and it's really relevant today.
Right.
We see these big campaigns about companies that are now making the look like you black baby dolls and whatnot. And I applaud that. But I have to say, my mom was apparently way before her time. She started the movement.
Immediately. She resonated
So,
with me. I was like, I could totally see my grandmother in the store. Like, no, you're going to give me the right doll today.
Right now.
Right now.
Or I'm going to jail. When I turned the manuscript over to the publisher, that's the first thing they said, man, your mama was amazing. Because, of course, everybody loved the basketball story in life. And so, but with Alice Wallace, there's a ton of stories.
There's always. I
Oh
always
my
hear
God.
you mention her so many times, and it relates to one of your later chapters that we'll talk about. But allowing the life and the death to be able to live in your present right now.
Well, it blesses me every day, And I said it about life, I didn't realize the impact of my parents and my grandparents until I wrote the book.
Right.
And I was like, man, they really gave me a lot of good stepping stones.
They're everywhere.
They gave me juice to keep going. And I didn't realize it until they were gone.
Right. So in Reality Check, there was an instance that happened in your hometown back in Jacksonville, and your mother made you come back to Houston.
Right.
She could obviously see something happening for you here in Houston.
Right.
How did that impact you during that moment, and how has Houston flourished into the city that it seems like Alice Wallace knew she could see in the future?
Right. Well, what the thing that upset my mom is I'd been in the Navy, lived overseas for over 2 years. And when I came back, I started working for the railroad. But I would use all my off time to go home. And my mom she kept saying, look, these guys here ain't doing nothing. They just trapped in the moment. And they're not progressing in life. And you have, so why are you continuing to reach back?
Right.
You're gonna get in trouble. And of course, Mom, these are my friends. Well, And so there was an incident that happened. I don't wanna give it away, but an incident that happened and where I went to jail. And it was just another one of those cases where it's like, man, she's right, And of course, you don't really think about it until it happens or something that gives you that defining moment. The teamwork concept is spoken more in game day, where we talk about the guy that scores the touchdown may get all the attention, but it took everyone to make that happen, all the way down to the guy that does the laundry. The lady that answers phones, the team that they put together on draft day to determine who's the best fit for the team. But there's a whole organization that make that happen. And that's why when a football team wins the Super Bowl, everyone gets a ring. Everyone. The repair guy for the score clock gets a ring.
Right.
If you work for that organization, you get a ring. And I never used to understand why. I thought it was just the ring would be for the players. But it took everybody to make that happen, And there's a difference between a great team and a great organization.
Right.
Great teams are just in a season. Great organizations are for a long time.
Right.
So you have to make it your determination. You want to be a part of a great team or a great organization.
Mr. President.
Well, I hear a lot of people, a lot of women say, man, I wish I could be Michelle. I wish I could be Michelle. And I often correct them and I say, you want to be the Michelle that's right now.
Right.
What about Michelle Robinson? You know, when she was the only one working in the house while Barack was out on the doing community organizing, and you know, and I joke and I say, man, I would have loved him to fly on the wall the day that she told her dad, hey, you know, Barack and I are going to get married, and she had over $300,000 in student loan debt, and he said, well, don't that boy have a job? When is he gonna get a job? Organizing don't pay. I can imagine that, you know, but 25 years ago, we didn't know he was gonna be the president.
Right.
She didn't know, you know, unfortunately her father didn't live to see it, but you know, you wanna be the Michelle today, but what about the Michelle 25 years ago?
Yep.
And so if that's so, you know, find that right mate to build your 25 years.
Someone with growth.
That's correct. Build your perfection out of perfect imperfection. So chapter 7, you know, and I have those two together because, you know, they kind of go together for the most part. But yes, everybody loves that end result. What about the work?
The work that takes to build up to that.
What about the work?
Yep.
You know, and so Michelle Obama to me is the perfect example of the work.
Yeah.
And you know, and it worked out great for her.
Well.
And him.
I was saying, you know, everything worked out for him too, I guess. She's the real winner, I guess.